All right, let's dive in. Today we're going to be talking about It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover.
Ooh, yeah.
And
That's a good one.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. And, we've got the book right here, and obviously we've both read it and have some thoughts on it.
For sure.
So we're going to be unpacking all those, like, tough topics and, like, character development and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
like domestic abuse is a big one.
Yeah.
And I think what makes this book so interesting is the format.
Right.
It's first-person narrative,
Yeah.
but we get like present-day Andy, we get her diary entries from the past.
Yeah, and those diary entries are like,
Oh, they're so good. Like these little,
they're like gifts,
yeah.
little time capsules throughout the book.
Yeah, like you think you know what's going on, and then boom,
Yeah.
diary entry. And then,
Changes everything.
yeah, it's like, oh, okay, now I'm looking at this whole relationship in a different light.
Yeah, and they give us so much insight into her past,
Cold
like
heart.
her childhood, her
Right.
relationship with her parents.
All of that stuff really comes through in those diary entries.
Yeah, and it's like you were saying, 2 books in one. It's like you're getting the present and the past and how they
Exactly.
influence each other.
It totally inform each other.
Yeah. So I guess let's just start with Lily.
Okay.
Like she is she's strong, but she's also vulnerable.
Yes.
Like she created this amazing life for herself in Boston.
Yeah.
She's got this great career. She's got this flower shop.
She's a girl boss.
She's a total girl boss. Yeah. But then you can still see how her past is,
Haunting her.
yeah, like it's still affecting her.
Yeah. And you know what I think is interesting is that ambition of hers.
Yeah.
On the surface, it seems like a good thing. Like she's driven, she's determined.
Right.
But I wonder if some of that is her trying to like outrun her past.
Ooh.
Like get away from that Bloom family name.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even the name of her shop,
Lily Blooms.
it's like she's,
Like she's rebranding.
yeah, it's like a rebrand.
Like I'm going to be Lily Bloom the florist and not Lily
Gotcha.
Bloom from this
Yeah.
messed up family.
Right.
Yeah. And then of course we have the
romance.
romance, the big R.
The men.
Yes, the men. And let's start with Ryle.
Okay, Ryle Kincaid, neurosurgeon.
Ooh, yeah.
Hot, successful.
Seems perfect.
Right. At first?
At first, yeah. And I mean, Colleen Hoover really does. She sets up that like whirlwind romance
Yes, she does.
perfectly.
They meet on a rooftop.
On a rooftop.
Come on.
So romantic.
Yeah, and there's just this instant chemistry.
Instant.
Or-
But even then,
Yes.
even in those early chapters, you can see some red flags.
Yes, you can.
Like he doesn't want to commit.
Right?
He's terrified of turning into his father,
Oh, yeah.
who was abusive.
Right.
So there's that fear always hanging over him.
Yeah. And I feel like it almost makes his possessiveness and like the anger even more.
Scary.
Yeah, scary because it's like, is he?
Right. Is this just him or is this
Yeah.
something deeper?
Yeah, and then when it starts to come out in their relationship, it's like, oh man.
It gets real bad.
Yeah, like that scene where he pushes her down the stairs.
Oh, it's like,
It's brutal.
it's hard to read.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a turning point in the story.
Yeah, you're like, okay, is this,
But it also makes you question, like, can he change?
yeah, is he capable of change?
Yeah, is he really sorry?
Or is this,
Or is this just who he is?
yeah, is this his pattern?
Yeah, and I found myself, like, going back and forth.
I did too.
Like, I wanted to believe him.
Yeah, you want to root for them.
Yeah, you want to root for them. You want them to be happy.
But then,
But then he's doing these things that are so...
yeah, you're like, girl, run.
Yeah, and especially because she saw that with her parents.
Exactly.
Like, she saw her mom go through that.
It's like the same pattern is repeating itself.
It's like history repeating itself.
Yeah, and Colleen Hoover's so good at showing how
Yes.
those childhood experiences can really mess you up.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they affect your adult relationships.
Yeah. Totally.
Even if you don't realize it.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder if she's drawn to Ryle because it's familiar.
Right.
Like, it's this pattern that she's...
Subconsciously seeking out.
Yeah, and then
Oh, and then there's Atlas.
there's Atlas.
Oh, Atlas.
Yeah, first love.
Yeah, the homeless teenager she helped
Years ago,
years ago.
and he shows up again.
Yeah, he's all successful. Now he's a chef. He's got his own restaurant.
Yeah, and I was like,
And I was like, oh no.
I know. I was like, here we go.
This is going to complicate things.
Yeah, because it's clear there's still something there.
Oh, yeah. There's unfinished business.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, like, what does a healthy relationship even look like for someone like Lily,
Right.
who's been through so much?
Yeah, because you've got Ryle, who is this, like, passionate, almost like addictive love.
Yeah, the kind of love you see in movies.
Yeah, but then you've got Atlas, who seems,
Safe.
yeah, safe and stable and, like, he just gets her.
Yeah, he understands her.
Yeah.
He sees her.
Yeah, so it's like she's got these two very different paths in front of her.
Two very different ideas of love.
Yeah. And she has to choose what kind of love she wants.
And what kind of future she wants.
Yeah.
And those choices, they're not easy.
No.
They come with a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
And consequences.
Yeah, and that's what makes this book so
real.
So real.
It's messy.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Just like real life.
Yeah, just like real life.
Yeah.
And love.
And love.
Is messy.
Yeah, it is.
And complicated.
Definitely.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll
get into the nitty-gritty.
We'll really dissect this whole love triangle.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll be right back.
And it does get messy. Like, the deeper Lily gets into things with Ryle, the more you see those cracks.
Yeah.
Like, that honeymoon phase is over, and his possessiveness, his anger. It's like...
It just keeps escalating.
It's like watching a car crash in slow motion. You know, something bad's going to happen, but you just can't...
You can't look away.
Look away.
And that scene where they fight at Atlas's restaurant.
Oh, my God.
It's just like...
heartbreaking. Ryle throwing that glass, hurting Lily.
Yeah.
It's just like...
It's like so visceral.
It shows how quickly things can escalate.
Yeah.
And it's scary.
Yeah. And then the way Hoover describes Lily's reaction afterwards, that's like the denial, the downplaying. It's so
real.
Real.
Like anyone who's been in that situation.
Yeah.
You get it.
You get it.
You understand why she does that.
Because you want to believe it'll be better.
Yeah.
You want to believe.
With a one-time thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not. And the fact that it mirrors what she saw with her own parents.
Exactly.
Like, it's that cycle repeating itself.
It's heartbreaking.
It's so sad.
And it shows how those cycles of violence, they can keep happening.
Yeah, it's like you don't even realize
you're falling into the same patterns.
And it makes you wonder, like, is she drawn to Ryle because it's familiar?
Right.
Like, is that why?
Because it's what she knows.
Subconsciously.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even after that fight, even after he hurts her.
She still goes back.
Yeah, she shows up at his apartment.
Yeah, and they sleep together.
I know that scene is...
It's so messy.
It's so confusing.
But also, like, so real.
It's raw.
Yeah.
It shows how complicated abuse can be.
Right.
Like, it's not always black and white.
Yeah.
There's love. There's desire.
Yeah, and then you've got Alyssa.
Oh, Alyssa, her best friend.
Who is also Ryle's sister.
Talk about a tangled web.
It's like so much drama.
She's so protective of both of them.
I know.
And you can see her torn.
Yeah, she's like stuck in the middle.
It's like a situation so many people can relate to.
Totally.
Like, you want to support your friend, but you also don't want to believe...
That your brother.
Yeah, that your brother is capable of this.
Yeah.
And her relationship with Marshall.
Oh, they're so cute.
It's like the opposite of Lily and Ryle.
Yeah, they're playful, they're supportive.
Healthy.
Yeah, it's healthy.
It's like a glimpse of what could be.
Yeah, but it makes you wonder if Lily can even imagine that for herself.
Yeah. Can she even believe she deserves that?
Right.
After everything she's been through?
Yeah, and then she gets pregnant.
Oh, yeah. The pregnancy.
It's like out of nowhere.
It throws a wrench in everything.
It changes everything.
Now she has this huge decision to make.
Yeah. Does she stay in this relationship?
That is clearly not working.
Yeah.
For her child.
Yeah. It's such a burden.
It's a heavy weight to carry.
Yeah. And you see her really struggling with it.
Yeah. Those diary entries in this part of the book.
Oh, they're so heartbreaking.
They're so raw.
You can feel her pain.
Yeah, she's wrestling with guilt.
Yeah.
Fear.
Yeah.
This need to protect her child
Yeah.
from the pain she's experienced.
And then that scene in the hospital waiting room.
Oh, yeah.
When Atlas shows up.
Oh, it's so charged.
That's like electric.
She finally lets her guard down.
Yeah. She's so vulnerable with him.
And he just holds space for her.
Yeah. He doesn't judge her.
He just listens.
Yeah, and it's like a spark between them.
Yeah, it reignites that connection.
But it's not that simple.
No, because there's the whole Cassie thing.
Oh, yeah. I was so confused by that.
Me too.
Like, why is he lying about having a girlfriend?
It seems so out of character.
Yeah, it felt like he was pushing her away.
But he was protecting her.
Yeah, from Ryle's jealousy.
He knew that even a hint of a connection could be dangerous for Lily.
Yeah, it was actually really selfless of him.
It was, but it also caused a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And it makes you think about, like, what is true love?
Yeah.
What are we willing to sacrifice?
Yeah. Is it really selfless to deny your own feelings?
To protect someone else?
Yeah.
It's a tough question.
It is.
And the book doesn't give us all the answers.
No, it just makes you think.
It makes you think about all the different ways we love.
Yeah.
And the sacrifices we make.
And as we head towards the end of the book,
the tension just keeps building.
It's like you can feel it.
Lily has this impossible choice.
Does she stay? Or does she go?
Does she choose safety?
Or does she choose love?
It's a lot.
It is.
It really is. And as Lily's due date gets closer and closer, the tension just keeps ratcheting up.
It's palpable.
You're just like waiting for something to happen.
And Ryle's trying so hard to make things right.
Yeah, like showering her with gifts and promises.
That apartment he gets her.
Oh my God.
It's like a palace.
But it's like, can you really buy forgiveness?
Right. Can all the money in the world erase what he's done?
Yeah, you can just feel Lily's doubt.
Yeah, like, is he really changed?
Is this just a temporary fix?
Exactly.
And then there's Atlas always lurking in the background.
Just a reminder of what could be.
Yeah, like a different path.
A different kind of love.
And those diary entries from Lily during this time,
They get even more intense.
they're gut-wrenching.
She's so full of guilt.
Yeah.
She's terrified of repeating her mother's mistakes. Yeah, of her daughter going through the same thing.
And then Riley is born.
And it's like everything shifts.
It's a turning point.
Yeah, Lily sees her daughter and she realizes
She can't let history repeat itself.
she has to break the cycle.
For Riley.
For herself.
For everyone.
And so she leaves Ryle.
It's such a powerful moment.
So heartbreaking, but also so empowering.
She chooses her daughter's safety.
Over her own happiness.
Over a love that's toxic.
And I love that the ending isn't this perfect happily ever after.
Me too. It's realistic.
Yeah, we don't know if Lily and Atlas end up together.
There's hope.
But there's also the acknowledgement that healing takes time.
That the past leaves scars.
Yeah, and that sometimes moving on means letting go.
Of what you thought your life would be.
Yeah, this book really stayed with me.
Me too.
It's just so thought-provoking.
It challenges you to think about love and abuse.
And the choices we make.
And the cycles we perpetuate.
What was your biggest takeaway?
I think for me, it's the power of breaking free. That even when you've been through so much trauma,
Yeah.
you could still choose a different path.
You can still heal.
And you can still find happiness.
On your own terms.
Exactly.
It's a powerful message.
And it's a message that I think everyone needs to hear.
So if you haven't read, It Ends With Us.
Definitely check it out.
It's a heavy read.
But it's worth it.
Yeah, and it's a conversation starter.
Oh, for sure.
So grab a copy and then come back here and let us know what you think.
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
All right, that's it for our deep dive into It Ends With Us.
Thanks for joining us.
As always, don't forget to like and subscribe and leave us a review.
And tell a friend.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Bye.